All right, so get ready, because today we are going deep on some fascinating material.
Oh, yeah.
We've got notes and a conversation transcript that detail this really ambitious project called Merlin's Musical Games.
Sounds interesting already.
And yeah, it's kind of like someone took music education and game design and mashed them up and then like turned the innovation dial way up.
It sounds like it really taps into a lot of the trends that we're seeing in education today. You know, this sort of move towards personalized learning, this focus on creativity and interactive experiences.
It's all about engagement, right?
Yeah.
That's what really caught my eye too.
Yeah.
Is how the project like changed over time.
Okay.
Because the notes start with something called Merlin's Music Guides, which sounds like they were probably just like traditional books. And then it makes this jump into like full-on interactive games and tools.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we see with a lot of successful educational platforms, too.
Yeah.
Like, look at Minecraft or Duolingo. They realize that learning can be,
Totally.
you know, way more effective when it's disguised as something fun.
You're sneaking the learning in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like this project is taking that idea even further. So let's dive into the actual games themselves.
Go ahead.
The first one is Merlin's Magic Music Computer.
Catchy.
Or MMMC for short.
Nice.
Which sounds whimsical, but it seems like a serious tool for like music creation and music analysis.
Interesting.
And get this, it's potentially powered by AI.
Wow, so we're not just talking about any AI, we're talking about algorithms that can analyze your musical compositions like as you're making them.
Cool.
And give you feedback on everything from, you know, melody and harmony to even the emotional tone.
That's crazy.
That you're conveying. It's like a virtual mentor for your music.
So it's not just about teaching you how to like, you know, play the right notes.
Right.
It's about helping you develop your own unique musical voice.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about it.
That's incredible.
It could, you know, listen to your playing and it can recognize what your influences are. And it can even suggest changes or additions that you might not think of on your own.
Wow.
But it does it in a way that it's like true to your personal style.
Okay. Next up, we have this one that I really love the name.
Right?
It's called Haiku Slicer Speaking Beads.
What?
Or HSSB.
Okay.
So you're using these beads, maybe they're different shapes or colors or something, to create a haiku.
Interesting.
But here's the wild part. It like speaks the poem back to you.
Oh, wow. I love that multisensory approach.
Yeah.
Because you're not only like physically putting together the structure of the poem, but then you're also hearing it out loud, so you get a much deeper connection to the rhythm and the flow of the language.
It's like a puzzle, but for poetry.
Yeah.
And you get this beautiful piece of writing at the end of it.
That's so cool.
I could see this being amazing for classrooms, especially for kids who maybe struggle with traditional writing.
Yeah.
You know, it gives them a whole new way to express themselves.
Absolutely. It takes all the pressure off.
Right.
And it makes it, you know, a lot less scary for them.
Okay, so now moving on to something maybe a little more complex. I don't know. It's called the IPFSM Emily Dickinson edition.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's the iambic pentameter foot stress meter.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to look it up too.
Me too.
Don't worry.
I wouldn't have known.
But basically, it's a tool for understanding the rhythm of poetry. But it's specifically focused on Emily Dickinson's work.
I think it's really interesting that they chose to focus on Emily Dickinson.
Yeah.
Because, you know, her poetry is really well known for that distinctive use of iambic pentameter.
Yeah.
But she had these really subtle variations and irregularities that made it unique to her style.
So it's not just teaching you, like, this kind of dry technical concept.
Yeah. It's about understanding the art.
Right. It's using her work to show you the nuances of poetic rhythm.
Exactly.
And how a master poet can, like, bend those rules
to
create something really special.
That's so cool.
Okay, so let's switch gears now and talk about tabletop role-playing games.
Okay.
Or TTRPGs.
Yes.
As the kids call them these days. So we've got two of these games in the notes. Boos, which sounds super sci-fi to me.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we've got Echoes of Empires, or EOE.
Nice.
And those seem to be more focused on strategy and empire building.
I love TTRPGs. I mean, they're such a good tool for developing all these different skills.
Oh, totally. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Collaboration, problem solving, creative thinking, storytelling. Oh, yeah.
Improv.
It's like you're getting a whole education in one game.
Right.
Right.
And what I find really interesting about these is how distinct the themes are. Buse is just like, it's like aliens, right?
Aliens, for sure.
That's all I can think about with that name.
First contact, exploration, all of that.
Totally.
But then Echoes of Empires. That sounds like a much more
more intricate.
Yeah.
A lot more moving pieces.
Political maneuvering, resource management.
Right. You have to be thinking long term.
Yeah. It's like they each have a whole different vibe.
Absolutely.
And you know what I think is really cool about that?
What?
Is that they can actually be really educational.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine in Beast, if you have to decipher an alien language.
Yeah.
Or you have to figure out how to negotiate a treaty.
Right.
Or you're grappling with these huge ethical dilemmas about how to interact with another civilization.
What are the rules
for,
interfering with another civilization?
Yeah. And then in Echoes of Empires, you could be learning about economics, political systems, military tactics.
You're making these choices that affect your world.
But it feels like you're just playing a game.
Exactly.
That's the best part.
That's the key.
You're sneaking the learning in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got music creation, we've got poetry, we've got sci-fi, we've got empire building.
It's amazing.
It's a huge project.
Yeah.
But it gets even wilder.
Okay.
Because the notes also mention movie comic characters, spaceship toys.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What is going on here?
Are we talking about a whole universe here?
I'm talking about a whole connected world.
Yeah. This is where it goes from just innovative games to full-blown world building.
So it's not just about playing these individual games.
Right.
It's about stepping into this whole Merlin's musical games ecosystem.
Yeah.
So you could go from composing a symphony on the MMMC to writing a haiku about your latest space adventure in Beast.
Yeah.
And then you can go play with spaceship toys.
Right. And that's what makes it so innovative.
Right.
Because it's not just about, teaching these skills in isolation.
Yeah.
It's about fostering this love of exploration and creativity across all these different areas.
It's about blurring the lines between learning and play.
Absolutely.
Showing that education can actually be fun and engaging.
Right.
And you know what?
What?
Maybe even magical.
It really could be.
It could be.
Yeah, so this begs the question, is Merlin's musical games more than just a set of cool tools?
Right.
Could it be a whole new way of thinking about learning?
Whoa.
One that embraces technology and creativity and really uses the power of storytelling.
That's a big question.
Yeah.
And we are going to continue to explore that as we get into the specifics of each game.
Yeah.
And the potential impact of this whole ambitious project.
Sounds good.
So buckle up.
I'm ready.
Because we are just getting started.
All right. Welcome back. All right. Let's get into some of the details here.
Yeah. Let's break down what makes each of these elements in Merlin's musical games so innovative.
Okay. Sounds good.
So let's start with that Merlin's Magic Music Computer, the MMMC.
Okay.
I am so curious about the AI aspect of this.
Yeah.
The notes mention that it can analyze compositions in real time, but I'm trying to picture what that actually looks like.
Yeah.
How does it go beyond just, identifying the notes and the chords?
I think it's helpful to think about it this way.
Okay.
The MMMC isn't just listening for mistakes.
Right.
It's actually listening for meaning.
Whoa.
So the AI could be using algorithms that recognize, patterns in the music, patterns that evoke certain emotions or stylistic choices.
So if I'm trying to write a really epic soaring film score, it could tell me if I'm
exactly
hitting the right dramatic notes.
It's not just about, is it technically accurate? Is it capturing the feel that you're going for?
Yeah.
And here's what's really neat.
Okay.
Some AI models can actually give you suggestions.
Oh, wow.
Variations or things you could add that would really push you creatively, but without going away from that overall tone that you're trying to achieve.
So it's a super talented collaborator who also happens to be a musical theory genius.
Right.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so haiku slicer speaking beads.
Okay.
I love this hands-on approach to poetry.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how the AI could even work with something as subtle as haiku.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Haiku is all about structure. and syllable count, right?
Right.
So the AI could listen as you're arranging those beads, not just to read the words, but to actually analyze the rhythm and the flow.
So like it's like having a haiku master.
Yeah.
Just like
a little
whispering in your ear.
Yeah, a little haiku guru.
Yeah.
Saying, maybe that third line feels a little off. Try switching these two beads.
That's so cool. It could even give you feedback on the structure.
Totally.
Maybe suggest different words that fit the syllable count, but also like, make the image stronger or something.
It's like having a personal poetry tutor.
Yes.
Right there with you.
All right, let's move on to something a little more erudite. The IPFSM Emily Dickinson edition.
Right.
Iambic pentameter has always felt a little intimidating to me.
It can be.
But I'm curious how this tool could make it a little less scary.
I think it's really cool because instead of just seeing those words on a page, you're actually using this tool to feel the rhythm. Maybe it's like a set of lights that pulse along, the stressed and unstressed syllables.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a tactile interface that like guides your hand through the meter.
So you're taking this abstract concept and making it something you can physically interact with.
Exactly. And again, the fact that they focused on Emily Dickinson is brilliant.
It's perfect.
Because she was a master of iambic pentameter, but she played with it, She bent the rules to make it her own.
It makes it so much more interesting.
Totally. And then the AI comes in.
Okay.
And it can analyze all of her work,
Yeah.
find the patterns and the variations and how she used meter and then compare that to your work.
So it can give you insights.
Yeah.
That you might never have thought of on your own.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It's really cool.
Okay, let's move on to the tabletop RPGs.
All right.
Deuce. I am so into this name.
It's a great name.
With that sci-fi theme.
Yeah.
What kind of gameplay do you see?
Okay, so I'm thinking, given that name, I really think it has to be about communication.
Okay.
Maybe even first contact with an alien species.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Where their language is totally different from ours.
I love it.
So you have to figure out
Yeah.
how to decipher their speech patterns, their body language, all their cultural nuances.
It's like figuring out how to say hello without accidentally.
Without starting an interstellar war.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
That's a classic. I love it.
It's just sci-fi, probably.
That would lead to some really interesting role-playing.
For sure. And think about the learning there. I mean, players might have to research linguistics, xenobiology, maybe even diplomacy and conflict resolution.
Or save the galaxy.
Save the galaxy.
Amazing.
I mean, or at least prevent a misunderstanding.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got Echoes of Empires.
Yeah.
Which seems like it would be more for the history buffs and the strategy gamers out there.
I love that the name really evokes this sense of grand strategy, building and managing a whole civilization.
Across huge amounts of time.
Across huge amounts of time.
So you're taking on the roles of rulers, advisors, military leaders.
Making these choices.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of game where your decisions have real weight.
Exactly.
You have to think long term.
Right.
You have to think about consequences.
Like a historical simulation.
Yeah, but way more fun than anything I ever did in school.
That's the beauty of it.
Right.
You're learning about economics and political systems, maybe military tactics.
Yeah.
But it feels like you're just playing.
You're just making choices.
Right.
In this virtual world.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about music. We've talked about poetry. We've talked about sci-fi, empire building.
What else could there be?
It's amazing.
It's amazing how much this project covers.
What really blows my mind, though, is that these games, they aren't just these separate things.
Right. They're just a bunch of games.
They're all connected to this bigger universe. Hinted at by those movie comic characters' spaceship toys.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting.
Right.
Because it moves beyond just these innovative educational tools. It goes into transmedia storytelling.
The big jump.
Yeah.
It's a big jump.
Imagine, kids are playing pieces, and then they go pick up a comic book that expands on the world.
Yeah.
Or they watch a movie.
Wow.
That has those same characters.
It's like a whole Merlin's musical games world.
It is.
You step right in.
And again, think about the learning.
Right.
It's this learning ecosystem
where
you're moving between all these different mediums.
It deepens your understanding and your engagement.
It's a whole new level.
Yeah, it's like they're taking the best of gaming, the best of storytelling, the best of education, And they're blending it
Yeah.
into something totally new.
It really is. And, we've been talking about the AI a lot, but we haven't really talked about how it ties this whole universe together.
That's a good point.
So how does it actually create this seamless experience?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
All right.
All right, so we've talked about how AI could make the games better.
Yeah.
But now I want to know how it could connect this whole Merlin's musical games universe.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy idea.
It is, it is.
So imagine an AI that's like an invisible thread connecting all these experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're playing Beast.
Okay.
And you make first contact with this really cool alien species.
Okay, I'm picturing like bioluminescent, super intelligent creatures whose language is based on music.
I love it.
I love it.
So then you finish your game, and the AI puts together this personalized learning path for you based on what you did in the game.
Okay.
So maybe it suggests a chapter in one of the Merlin's music guides.
About like the math behind musical languages. So it's taking something I was already interested in, and it's pointing me towards even more information.
Deeper knowledge.
That's so cool.
Or maybe it recommends a set of haiku beads with symbols from that alien culture. So you can write poetry from their point of view.
That is next level.
It's all about connecting these different subjects.
Yeah, it's like the AI is saying, hey, you thought that alien language was cool, right?
Yeah.
Well, here are some other ways to learn about it.
Exactly.
I love it.
And it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
Maybe it recommends an episode of the animated series.
Wait, there's an animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
They've got everything.
This is huge.
That goes into the history of that species.
Okay, so it's really about creating this world.
Yeah.
Where learning is this journey.
It's not just these isolated things.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Okay, so the AI is like this master curator guiding you through this massive universe.
Right.
Based on what you're into.
Based on what you like, yeah.
But could it go even further?
What do you mean?
Like, could it actually make new content?
Interesting question.
Based on your choices.
Okay, so imagine you're playing Echoes of Empires.
Okay.
And the AI picks up on the fact that you're always going for the diplomatic solution. Right. Instead of just like conquering everyone.
Yeah, I'm a peacemaker.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I'm a builder, not a destroyer.
Exactly.
So the AI creates a special side quest for you.
Whoa. Yeah.
That's all about a really difficult negotiation.
So the game is actually changing while I'm playing it.
Right. It's responding to...
based on what I'm doing.
How you're playing.
That's amazing.
And it could even compose the music for it.
No way.
Something really majestic and hopeful.
That's incredible.
To match your approach.
So we've got the AI tutor. We've got the AI composer.
Yeah.
Now we've got the AI game designer.
It's pretty amazing what AI can do.
It feels like the possibilities are endless.
It really does.
But, it's important to remember that the AI is just a tool.
It's not replacing humans.
Right. It's not replacing creativity.
No. The heart of this project is still about that love of learning and exploration.
And that human connection.
Exactly.
It's about having those moments where you suddenly understand something.
Those aha moments.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
And Merlin's musical games really seems to get that.
Yeah, it combines play and storytelling and AI in such a cool way.
Yeah, it's really special.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with this question.
Okay.
Could this be the future of learning?
What a thought.
Where technology and creativity work together.
Work together to help everyone learn.
It's a question worth thinking about.
It is. And who knows, maybe someday we'll all be exploring the world of Merlin's musical games.
I hope so.
Composing symphonies, writing haikus, building empires.
Yeah.
All alongside our AI companions.
That would be pretty amazing.
Until next time, keep learning.
Keep playing.
And keep those imaginations going.
Absolutely.